Welcome everyone to Greenleaf Fiendish's Trick or Treat Street. Wow. We've entered Trick or Treat Street. This once was a part of a town called Roanoke. For your sake, dress up and put a mask on from the stand. If you don't, well, you'll be sacrificed to the creature that calls itself our god. Make sure to visit each house and get candy. It pleases the thing that torments us. And we have been at Greenleaf Fiendish's place, I think it was 2 years ago for Halloween. It was called the First House on the Right, I believe. It was another trick-or-treat type of street thing. But this year they have a new one, and this is my first 2020 official Halloween season type of thing. It's mid-September, so we're starting to get all the places popping up now. So let's go ahead and do some trick-or-treating. Oh, that's a nice little mask there. A smoking cupcake. So I guess it's on fire. But yeah, this is a small little area, and it has a little story with it, and it actually looks really nice. It seems to be sort of like a, oh, we got a note here. Woken here banging at my front door. Neighbor Henry Smith came to warn everybody not to go into the yellow fog. Seems the world around us has vanished. Carol, who works at the local laundromat, watched her husband drive into the fog and plummet downwards where the road once was. Some personal investigation of my own, I found 5 streets remained inside the yellow fog. What makes matters worse, we have lost power and have no cell phone signal. Guess I'm not going to work today. So yeah, this entire little city street was teleported into a fog and is completely cut off from everything else. You can kind of see the fog around us here, this yellow fog. And as we go further along, you can kind of see that things are getting a little bit more gruesome down that way. We got a little statue of a ghost here, it looks like. And we also have some ghosts hanging out in the windows, I see. Seems to be no hope of rescue from outside. Luckily, the grocery store remained intact, and all 120 of us have been rationing the supplies. Only a matter of time before we run out. A couple of boys made up 500 feet of rope out of anything they could tie together and then stuck a camcorder to it. Lowered down off the edge of town. When they pulled it up and watched the footage, they just saw endless yellow fog. This did not help with the feeling of unease. So yeah, it seems to be not much hope here. Oh, that's a scary mask. Got a nice orange candy, though. There seems to be these handprints all over the buildings. Looks like somebody lost their hand. And a couple bones. You can see he watches. Must trick or treat, sacrifice visitors. And then it's about 7 times he watches after that. Let's go ahead and go over this way, I think. That's, quite the axe. Let me ask you a question. Oh, he's up on the ceiling. Ooh, a ring pop. Nice. You can see another shadowy figure in the window there. Let's see. 2 weeks now. Food and water is being left untouched and gathering dust in store. For some reason, we no longer need to eat or drink, and we show no signs of deterioration of weight or health. No nighttime, just the endless yellow haze dancing in the fog. I also notice that I barely need any sleep, but when I do, it's always about something whispering in the mist, telling me to sacrifice my neighbors and worship him in a childish game of trick-or-treat. We gather at the local church for prayer. I'm not a religious man, but now I'll do anything. Yeah, I can kind of see that. Guess these must have been either visitors or people that didn't want to go along with it. We see an eyeball peeking out there. Ooh. Tootsie Roll, thank you. So the entire town seems to be trapped in this endless haze with a godlike creature that simply wants them to trick-or-treat or be sacrificed. And they no longer seem to have any sort of need for eating, drinking, anything like that, but when they do sleep, they just keep on being told to trick-or-treat. Bowling ball. That's not quite what I was expecting. You can see a lot of little details went into this area, though, with all the windows generally being used for something in the story, and been a while now, I've lost track of time. Each day has passed and a small part of the land around us has begun to crumble away. We're now down to 2.5 streets. The local priests, who now calls him the Prophet of Makam, have formed a cult and thrown some of the townsfolk into the void. I've objected this insanity to the Prophet, but barely escaped being thrown off myself. I fear my mind is slowly fading each passing moment as I can hear the voice of Makam. So we have a voice for the... Now we have a name for the creature. Makam. I know you're not local, just keep trick-or-treating and keep your face covered or you'll be offered to our god. Okay. So that's the first person we've seen that's had any sort of sense with this. But yeah, it went from 5 streets to 1.5 streets, and that seems to be about correct with what we have here. Oh, we got a zombie. Though it seems to be a gracious zombie. Huh. Yeah, it looks like we've come across the church here. We can see a couple familiar faces in the windows here. And it looks like this is the spot that's where all these handprints are coming from. There's 30 of us left. We have sacrificed so many to our god. He is wise. He has left life and death. We are his sheep. He will bring us others from the other realms to feed us end this hunger. Praise him. So it seems the guy that was doing the entries has now fallen under the influence of Makam finally. But we don't seem to be able to enter the church. But I do remember there being a note over this way. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. A lot of rusted out cars over here, though. It looks like there's kind of a perch at the end of the street here. Wonder what that's for. Need more sacrifices. That's ominous. I think this might be a timed thing that's about to happen here. So I may need to wait a second. Ah, here we go. The doors have opened up, and we see somebody being taken out from the church, and they're now heading down the street towards that little perch there. Seems they convinced this one to be a sacrifice. Oh goodness. And there goes another one. Now the cloaked monks slowly are heading back to the church. No doubt waiting for another outsider to show up. In any case, this has been Grimly Fiendish's Trick-or-Treat Street. Really nice little spot here. I especially like this little whole thing that was at the end here. Like, that's super neat to see them all, like, come out here and, basically sacrifice somebody to their god, Malcolm. I'm assuming it's on some sort of timer. Maybe it's every 15 minutes or so. But in any case, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll be back with another Halloween spot here real soon. So see you then. And have a happy Halloween.